Hey everyone and welcome to the Western region again. In today's episode we're gonna be making more spooky Pokémon. Are you ready for more legends? In the last episode we were talking about some vampire legends and creatures from Mexico, so let's start this video with another vampire creature from Mexico, Tlahuelpuchis. Tlahuelpuchis are vampire witches basically. They are women with powers given by the gods, but they use them for malicious purposes. They look like regular women, but their powers start manifesting when they enter puberty. Powers which have to be worked on over the years to master them fully. Tlahuelpuchis can turn into animals. They are mostly associated with fireflies, but they can also turn into birds and stuff like that. They can also hypnotize people with their breath, and also shoot fire with it too. To top it all off, they can turn into smoke too. These witches also feed from blood, but they prefer children's blood because it's the most delicious for them. To transform they have to gather some specific types of wood and medicinal plants and set them all on fire. Then, walk in this fire 3 times from north to south and from east to west. After this, they have to sit facing on their victim's house direction as they start transforming. A way of getting rid of them is with steel or scissors in a cross form, but the most effective ones is with garlic. People used to make garlic collars and give them to their little babies at night to avoid Tlahuelpuchis from harming them. Something interesting is that if you somehow manage to kill one, their powers will be transferred to you. And now I want to mix these creatures with another creature that was also a menace for babies. It's called Tunduncan from Mayan culture. It is a big bird with dark and shiny plumage that doesn't have eyes and only has 1 foot. It flies very high at night to wait for the children to fall asleep, and then they enter their rooms and blew a deadly breath onto their mouths. Their presence itself used to be a dead omen. There is a little backstory for this creature. It used to be a shaman that cured children, but one day he fell deeply in love with a woman. But as hard as he tried, she wasn't interested at all. So when her child was born, he went to visit him and sing a deadly song to its ear. The gods watched this and decided to punish him, transforming him into this creature. Now for the Pokemon itself, I wanted to give it a vampiric look that also had to do with fire while having a bird appearance. I gave it deadly eyes like the Tunduncan and also just 1 foot. Bludgeoner comes from Tlahuelpuchi, Enchanter and also Chant, a dark and fire type. Bludgeoner can turn into smoke in seconds. These Pokemon sing, can burn or hypnotize. They steal food from houses to suck the juice with its fangs. Its abilities are Flurry Boost, Magician, and Power of Alchemy is its hidden ability. I think these are really fitting. In the last episode we talked about the vampire tree on Belen's graveyard. Well, what if I told you this is not the only legend from there? Around the 1880s there was a little kid called Nachito who was really afraid of the dark. So they used to put torches and candles in his room at night. But one night there was a huge storm and his windows were open, so the wind turned off the candles and the torches. Nachito was so scared of both of the storm and the dark itself that he sadly passed away. He was buried there in Belen's graveyard, but the morning next to the funeral they found the coffin out in the surface. To solve this, they decided to bring the coffin up to the surface and make small holes in it so some light could get in, because he was so scared of the dark that he couldn't rest underground. They also put 4 torches around to illuminate the area. Sometimes even a balloon is spotted moving around and people say it's Nachito playing. This also say that if you don't give him a toy when you visit him, he will get mad and follow you home. The dark is a very common fear. It's even more common with children, so I wanted to make a Pokemon that is afraid of the dark. Nyctobox comes from Nyctophobia, fear of dark, and Wax, it's a ghost type. It is very afraid of the dark, so the ghostly flame it has grows with its fear. They befriend kids that are scared of the night. Its flame doesn't produce heat, it's just a light source. Illuminate as an ability is very self-explanatory, but why does it have natural cure? Well, I wanted to mix this with two other legends for the next evolution. That's why I made it out of wax too, because next up we're gonna talk about some famous mannequins from Mexico. Mannequins are not made of wax, but wax figures are really creepy too, and this mannequin is so realistic that it looks like one. I'm talking about La Pascualita, a mannequin from the clothing store La Popular in Chihuahua. What makes it special is the story behind it. Around the 1930s, the owner's daughter died a day before her wedding from a black widow's bite. Days after, she put this mannequin in the window. A mannequin everyone says resembles her daughter a lot, and has a very creepy sense of realism. One of the most realistic looking features are the hands, which look just like human hands would, which is weird for a mannequin since they aren't usually this detailed. You see where I'm going with this, right? People say that she somehow transformed her daughter's corpse into this mannequin. There are claims of people seeing its eyes following them and having different positions when no one's looking. Also, only a very select group of employees are trusted to change its clothes. One of them said its body just didn't look like mannequins. By just looking at it, you can see it's very human-like. Something weird is the fact that more recently, in 2017, it was translated to Mexico City for a Myth and Legends Expo, and it looks different ever since. Some think it was just restored, and others said it was switched for some reason. Now, although creepy, it might not be malicious, since it is said a woman got shot once and she fell outside the store in its feet. She asked La Pascualita for help, and she fainted but woke up in the hospital, and everything was fine. That's why people now go and put candles and stuff outside the store to thank La Pascualita. There's also a whole abandoned amusement park full of possessed Disney figures in Veracruz called Reino Mágico, but we'll talk about that in another time. I'm just bringing it up because it's interesting how there are so many legends of this kind. Well, for this evolution specifically, I also wanted to add some elements from La Planchada, another legend from a nurse that always had her clothes neat, tidy, and ironed. Hence her name, La Planchada. She was really pretty, but fell in love with a new doctor. People warned her about him, because he was known for cheating on women and being flirty with nurses. He proposed to her but lied and said he had to go away for something work-related, and she waited for him but he never came. And people told her he was actually at a honeymoon with his new wife. She was heartbroken and started being very distracted at work and very negligent with the patients. She later died from an illness, regretting everything she had done. Now it is said she wanders around the hospitals helping and curing people faster. There are a lot of people who claim seeing her, but other nurses deny knowing her at all. For this Pokemon and the next I'm gonna be doing in this episode, I do not want to apply the inspirations too literally with the design. In this case, a human-looking mannequin or another weird nurse Pokemon would be quite boring and on the nose, so the inspirations are gonna show more in their Pokédex and abilities. Wax Sculpt comes from wax and sculpture, a ghost and fairy type. This Pokemon stays still. It then jumps to scare people. They secretly cure people's illnesses with their supernatural wax. Most people think it's just a figure by looking at it. It now has Healer as an ability and Natural Cure as a hidden one. Now for the next line we're gonna talk about two prehispanic creatures, the Yualtepuztli and the Ixpuxtequi. Yualtepuztlis look like a man without a head and with its chest exposed. They made sounds like trees being chainsawed, and they gifted magazites to courageous people. The more courage you had, the more seeds it gave you. If you were brave enough to take its beating heart from its exposed chest, run without being caught, and wrap it around a cloth, you could make a wish. Its name means nocturnal axe, and it was said you would have bad luck by just listening to it. For the Pokemon I wanted it to seem as if it had no head, but it actually has because a Pokemon without a face would be boring and unexpressive. Here it is, Wanther, from Wander and Gather, a ghost type. At first sight it seems to have its head missing. They walk around at night gifting the seeds they recollect for unknown reasons. Some say it's for good luck, but others claim it's bad luck. Another creature that wanders spreading bad luck is the Xboxteki, which had different representations, but ancient people said it was a huge man with eagle feet or a big figure with a cloak and staff. But what's interesting is that its face is broken. Its name literally means broken face, because it's missing its jaw, so a big tongue can be seen and all. It was one of the 4 dead deities from Nahuatl mythology, and the goddess of fear and terror was his wife. For the Pokémon I went in more of a ghostly direction here, accentuating the tongue as an element. I had a bit of a trouble finding the correct look for this one, but here we have Shangle, from Shard and Mangle, a ghost type. If it licks you, its tongue will give you bad luck. Shangle makes loud noises with its tongue, and they sound like a chainsaw. They hunt travelers at night. These abilities lines are pickpocket, and as a hidden ability they have bad luck, an ability I created that harshly lowers the accuracy of the other Pokémon when it enters the battle, so it can simulate bad luck. Whoa! Those were lots of myths and legends, but somehow I have a few more to share with you all, but we will talk about them in the next episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and learned something new. In the next episode we will be making more spooky Pokemon, so subscribe and ring the bell to stay tuned. As always, the designs in this episode will be posted in my Instagram account. There's a link in the description so that you can get there in no time. Thanks for watching and see you all in the next spooky video.